up, you blundering fools. It's time for the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. Get all the toy talk your evil hearts could desire from these nincompoops. Jason and Elgin.
Yo, Joe, and welcome to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast, where friends get together to talk about one of our shared loves.
Pizza rolls.
Oh, man, I love pizza rolls and toy collecting. We're here to celebrate how these little colorful pieces of plastic can transform you into a little kid again. If this is your first time listening to us or watching us live on YouTube every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, first of all, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. You're also going to learn soon enough that we are not toy experts. We're only enthusiasts. So we're not always going to get the details right. But speaking of details, let me introduce everybody. Hi there, I'm Jason. Over there's my pal Elgin.
Right over here. Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we have the pleasure of welcoming a true maestro of cosplay and action figure customization. Toby Hickson, better known in the cosplay and toy community as Alpha Magnus. Toby is renowned for his inventive mashups and his spot-on portrayals of iconic characters, including his celebrated Macho Man Randy Savage cosplay. His creativity knows no bounds, seamlessly blending genres to craft unique and memorable costumes. Beyond cosplay, Toby is an action figure customizer, breathing new life into beloved figures through his skillful modifications. His work has been showcased at various conventions, including a recent appearance at GalaxyCon Columbus in December 2024. You can explore more of his creations on his Instagram profiles, Alpha Magnus Cosplay for cosplay and at Alpha Magnus for his action figure customs. Additionally, his YouTube channel, Alpha Magnus, that's all caps, features a variety of content, including toy customizations, reviews, and unboxings. We're thrilled to have him here today to share his insights and experiences with us. Welcome, Alpha Magnus. Hey, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's going on?
I'm an old man cosplayer.
I'm an old man.
In that game, it is a lot of younger folks.
Yeah.
And I collect toys a lot.
What are your top 3 lines that you collect?
Oddly enough, well, Transformers right off the bat.
All right.
Is number 1. But recently, G.I. Joe. Like, I never cared about old G.I. Joes. I hated the little figures. They were floppy legs and stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted them to be able to stand and do things. The other fact is that I'm a giant. You've met me.
Yep.
I haven't met Elgin in person, but I met you at
TFCon
Chicago. Yeah. And yeah, so like I've been this size for a long time, and it's just like tiny little toys not doing it. In fact, spoilers, but like this is what a classified figure looks like in my hand. It is not a thing. So the little toys didn't, but I was almost line complete, but I kind of stopped grabbing a lot of the extra ones. Yeah. And then what else is number 1 on here? I like robots in general, but I also have a lot of Ninja Turtles. So yeah, actually, Motu Ninja Turtles, probably those 2 are even for 3rd on the collection list.
I made the list.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Turtles of Grayskull is by far my favorite line.
Yeah.
And then the Thundercats coming out, I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm actually that's part of the reason why I even wanted to come on here, is because I've kind of gotten a big love for 3D printing, specifically toys and things like that. So people don't realize that how we are very close to like companies not making toys, and we're going to have to make them ourselves. Like we're within 10 years of that. So
maybe sooner.
I think we're going to get regular figures, but I think that most of the collector grade ones are going to go towards just expensive Mezcos and stuff like that. We're not going to have the $20 Hasbros anymore because they don't see worth in doing it. unfortunately.
Well, hey, we're glad you're here, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Before we jump into today's episode, we got something exciting to tell you about. It's our Patreon and YouTube community, The Core. When you list in The Core, the Cracktastic organization of retro plastic specialists, you unlock a treasure trove of exclusive perks made just for hardcore collectors like you. You get bonus episodes, shout outs, early access, plus exclusive chat with us and other core members. So don't wait. Enlist in the Core today. Just go to enlistinthecore.com to help support the show. In this episode, we're going to dive into the world of cosplay, the art of bringing beloved characters to life. Whether it's superheroes, horror icons, or classic toy lines, cosplay is a unique way for fans to embody the figures we love to collect. We'll discuss the craftsmanship, creativity, and passion that go into costume making, as well as how toy collecting and cosplaying go hand in hand. Plus, we'll share some of our favorite toy-inspired cosplays. We're going to look at a lot of fun pictures of Toby all dressed up. The challenges, the personal flair, the best figures that deserve a real-life transformation. So grab your foam, fabric, and fandom and join us for this fun conversation about cosplay and collecting. Yeah. And then later, Elgin's going to take us on a tour of a toy store, and that's going to be super fun. You can follow us on all the social media platforms, including Patreon, and those links can be found at our website, cracktasticplastic.com. And while you're surfing the interwebs, be sure to stop by our sponsor, toyhacks.com, for all your repro label needs. They have an armory where you can get some toy-accurate 3D printed weaponry and tons of amazing sticker sets for your toys. We also have a monthly contest that Elgin's going to tell you about.
That's right. Every month we run a caption contest. We'll post a picture on our social media platforms, and then you get to comment on that so that you can be picked for a $5 coupon to Toy Hacks. So be sure to go out there and comment so that you can actually win. So we'll do one every month and hopefully pick a winner soon for this month, and then on to the next month.
That's right. That's right. And before we get going, we are going to say hi to the chat real fast. We got Miss Tiffany over there making fun of me, of course. Words are hard.
That's true.
I said a lot of them right, though. I'm pretty proud. But she also asked, is Toby going to TFCon Chicago this year? And he says,
Chicago.
Oh, he's right there. I don't have to show it. He's right there. That's the plan, he says. Cool. I know
I'm going to Chicago, by the way.
Oh, my bad.
Words are hard, right?
That's right.
No, definitely going to Chicago if things work out. So
good, yeah. We got our hotel booked already, at least. Whatever happens, I guess. But yeah, all right. Well, let's. But right now, I got to get to the button. Hold on. Let's talk about what toys we picked up lately in a segment we call Thrill of the Hunt.
Listen up, you fools! If anyone knows more about searching for the most unique items in the world, it's me, Cobra Commander. In my reign as Cobra's leader, I have acquired countless items, but those meddling Joes have foiled my attempt at worldwide domination over and over again. But it's the thrill of the hunt that fuels my superb rule of Cobra. Pay attention to my loyal subordinates as they tell you of their latest exploits and acquisitions. It's the thrill of the hunt, Cobra!
All right. Elgin, what have you got lately?
Well, I picked up some more Ninja Turtles stuff here. I got to talk to them about rooting around in the Thrill of the Hunt box here and pulled out some Ninja Turtle stuff. And first one is from the Origin, I guess, or classic line, whatever they want to call it. Is this good old Wing Nut here?
Yay!
Finally found him. I think it was in Ames or something out at Target or Walmart or something. I can't remember, but one of those big box stores. But I never had this one as a kid, and I've been kind of picking up the ones I didn't have, more so than the ones I already had. So this guy's pretty awesome. This kind of bat fella. He does come with a little guy screw loose.
Hey.
I really
Ring-
liked. It's still one of the ones I might pick up is the Super 7 version of that.
Yeah, that looks cool.
I'm not
too.
really big into their stuff, but that one
Yeah.
hit it all. Looks just like that.
Yeah, comes with a little gun there, which took me forever to find, and a box of loose parts.
That's what the rummaging
Yeah,
around
that's what I was
Yeah.
searching. It comes with a little grenade too, as well, that comes off his wing. But yeah, it's kind of cool.
Cool.
I think I have on one of my shelves, all my turtles set up in kind of like a big battle scene, and so I'm gonna try to have him like flying in or something like that, hanging
Heck
down
yeah.
from like on there. Because I have Baxter Stockman as well, my vintage one. I want to have him flying as well too. I think right now he's plastered on one of the turtle vans, like a bug. He just got hit. They're driving around, but yeah. So there's classics guy. I've been kind of only really picking up there's the new Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the kind of Mutant Mayhem TV show that they've put out. I've only been picking up a few of the figures, ones that kind of like, funky or kind of cool or something. The show, it basically has like 12 episodes. The first 6 were like one story, and then the next 6 were another story. And the last part of that was like what I think is like the better story. They talk about the East River 3. It's just kind of this mob group that is trying to take over the city and do stuff. And so I found all 3 of them eventually. Like I found one, and then I'd find a few weeks later another one, and then pulling stuff off of the top shelves of Walmart, and like, is this one of them? So the first one is Gold
Aw,
Fin.
Goldfin?
Yeah, giant goldfish.
Yeah, they're making a lot of new ones for this show.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool.
That's
And
adorable.
he's voiced by Timothy Oliphant.
Oh, sweet.
That's a random
Which is
one.
crazy. That's just random. Yeah, that's him right there, and he's the leader of the East River 3. The little hat. There's not really a lot of articulation. I mean, there's some, but they're kind of
More than you'd think.
old
maybe.
school. Yeah. But each of these comes with a little sea anemone as well. I'll show those all at the end, but as like they're on the show as well. As like kind of they're lackeys, I guess. But he's the leader for sure. Then you have Lee the eel.
Ooh.
That's what she is there. With this little like ray gun type thing that let's have on the show. But the tail articulates and movement. The only bad thing, some of these they don't stand very well because they have like these tiny little feet.
Oh yeah.
And then they're like top heavy or something. They have to situate them, so they can actually fit on there. But
Oh.
Lee the eel. I can't remember who voices her right now. Just Google it. And then of course you have Mustang Sally.
Of course.
It's a seahorse. And it's voiced by Danny Trejo.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It has a little coral
I
axe.
see the resemblance now. Yeah.
Yeah. It was funny that there was one part in that where they're like it's something like referencing his jail time. And it was like somebody's like, well, I don't want to go to jail for that. It's just it was I was like, only adults would like pick that up, kids wouldn't even like register that's happening because it's Danny Trejo voicing him. But it's pretty cool. A little jacket on. Then of course we have all the little
again.
What's that?
What was that show called again?
Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, so they probably put teenage. I put TMNT and I couldn't find it. I was trying to look the eel up.
Yeah. It's on Paramount Plus, I think.
Oh, cool.
So they each come with a little sea anemone.
Aww.
There's like a little, and all of these sea anemones, they talk in like commercials. Like they just use commercial jingle stuff or sayings they don't actually ever speak anything that's
They're
like
They're
junkions.
junkions.
kind of. But they don't ever really say anything that's like a sentence that makes sense.
Or Bumblebee from the
Yeah,
movies.
kind of. But these each of the figures came with a little sea anemone, which is pretty cool. And they look the cool thing is that like I've said before, they look just like they are on the show. And
That's the best.
like if you're watching the show and you're playing this figure, you're like, hey, that's on TV, and I'm holding it. It's exactly the same.
What does a set of those run?
Like
Hoping
$10.
10. Okay.
10.
Well, that's awesome.
Or if you wait, they're like $7
Wait
something.
long enough.
$7.50.
Elgin.
If you, I think I bought at least 2 or 3 of them. At least 2 of them, like when they were $7.50. They just randomly put them on sale, and then not even in clearance, just like, oh, these are on sale in the aisle. But yeah, I wanted to get all 3 of them just because that gang was like, that storyline was better than the other one that they had.
Did they make
So,
toys for the other story?
They do, yeah.
Okay.
Because they have like Metalhead and so they're more. It's more robot stuff with Bishop and all that storyline, which it was good, but this one was better for me anyway. It was like I don't know. It made more sense, kind of, and it tied more in with like the.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what I was going to say. What's her name?
Tiffany beats to
Yes.
it. Jillian
Yeah.
Bell.
She's like a bit actress in a lot of stuff. I think she was in Stand Against Evil, which is the only show I've actually watched her in.
Cool.
I'm trying to remember what I've seen her in. Anyway, that's all I have. Just a bunch of Ninja Turtle related stuff.
All right, Mr. Magnus, what have you picked up lately, pal?
Well, I'll start with I got the latest wave of the G.I. Joe classified dudes.
Oh, nice.
So you got Alpine, Xandar, Saw Viper, who has a saw, and then the disappointment of Leatherneck here.
Oh, what's so disappointing about him?
He's like a foot shorter than he should be.
Oh,
yeah, like he's tiny compared to Xandar, and he's supposed to be like huge, like other guys. He's not even like bulky huge, just taller.
it's a
So
scale issue.
I'm gonna have to figure out maybe a Valaverse figure and just swap out the body for. He also looks like Father Guido Sarducci.
Oh, he does.
He completely.
Oh,
yeah.
my gosh.
So that's a little bit of a disappointment. I did get the new She-Ra as well.
The cartoon.
Jesus. Yeah, there.
Cartoon
yeah.
collection.
The cartoon collection one. I
Looks so
think
good.
I have it on my
I
wish
had the
list.
old one, and I was like, "Oh, this is okay," but man, that is way better.
The Masterverse one is really nice.
Yeah. So my thing with that is I don't like the toy She-Ra figures, even back then. So now that they're bringing these out, this is kind of what I'm getting versus actually like trying to get both. Where I'm not getting any of the cartoon collection He-Man guys because I don't care. I like the toy versions. So it's weird because the She-Ra ones I way prefer the cartoon. And
Yeah,
then
I would agree with that. With
Yeah.
the
are we doing one at a time or
No, just do your whole
yeah, the
as
whole
many as you want.
the
I got a
coup de
pile.
grace of this was I got the Mezco
Oh.
Popeye.
Oh shit.
And he has been one that I've wanted forever. He's been sitting in my pile of loot for 6 months. And
Looks so good.
I was like waiting for something to show up and it never showed up. So
Yep.
once Christmas hit, I'm like, we're shipping it all. He was like 2 weeks away from, or 2 days away from auto shipping
there.
on his own alone. But he is amazing. Cloth goods, everything's beautiful. I just did a review of that on my channel.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Check it
and
out, everybody.
And kind of one of the reasons why, as I said, I wanted to get into this was because 3D printed toys are kind of becoming like a thing for me. And there's a guy, La Calavera 3D prints. It's a Patreon you can do. But he has a bunch of these old retro style figures from like video games and stuff. I 3D printed this. So this is me. I just printed it out of my...
You did that.
Well, I didn't make it, but I printed it.
That's awesome.
So it doesn't have a lot of articulation. His stuff is kind of basic, but like I've never seen a Raziel from Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. Like it's a weird like 2000s game, and he made this. So like this kind of stuff is just exciting me. I don't think either of you are into Power Rangers, are you?
I have a couple
Not really.
toys.
I have the crossover
Yeah.
Ones with turtles.
So if you look up there,
Oh.
that's the Thunder Megazord. That is another thing that I've 3D printed. All of these are 3D
Oh,
printed.
wow.
Yeah,
That's
that
awesome.
guy, that guy. And yeah, it's pretty nice to be able to just like download a file and then print it out yourself.
Sure.
So, but that's just one of the random, like more recent ones. And those ones up there are fully articulated. They're not just like bricks. Oh, my Simpsons picture. Yeah. I got a whole bunch of junk up here. Hey, there's me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love 3D printing, but it's so intimidating to me. I have friends that do it, and
so that's the big thing. There's a little bit of a shakeup in it, but Bamboo Labs came out with a couple 3D printers that are sub $300, and they're pretty much just plug and play. So, but the problem with that is they got so big so quick that people think that they're going to now do a subscription service. So,
oh boy,
we're all going to kind of wait for that one to settle out. But like, I literally printed this today. This is from PUBG, a video game I play. It's just like I could store stuff in it, but it's sized for 6-inch figures.
Cool.
Drop shipment. But yeah, there's a ton of stuff that, I mean, I could be here all day telling you about all the things I printed, but it's definitely the future.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Hasbro's been talking about letting some files out there. I don't know if anyone's seen them, but
yeah, they let all the old like,
stuff,
classic ones. You could buy them. I don't think they're free, but like that was the whole thing, is they wanted people to be able to use those files to make new things like charms and random things like that.
Yeah.
But I've seen people print like things at 1-to-1 scale.
Yeah,
even a 1-to-1 Optimus. I mean, the one that I have, I don't know if you saw the big one up there. That guy, that big Optimus. That is a 1/12 scale.
Yeah,
Optimus Prime. So when you put him in truck mode, he is actually the size that like a classified figure would sit in.
Woo.
Interesting.
That's awesome.
That's all. That's all.
Right.
That's all.
All
I'm
right.
for. You go. Get out.
All right. Well, got some things here. These all go back to a little while ago. One of our toy stores in Des Moines, which is our state capital, our big town. Jay's, one of their 3 stores, was having a 50% off sale because they were going to move. And these, I'm so scared because it's just going to be picked over. Afraid of that, but. Sure. We got up there and I found some things, and my lovely assistant will just hand them to me. I couldn't believe I found some things. I got this little Leo Prime.
Oh yeah.
Robots in Disguise. I think it was, it says on there $10. So for $5, how do you not grab this? Is one I knew.
That's retail for that.
I know.
When it came out.
And then another one, same, was $10. Got it for $5. We got Rodimus from Universe. Yep. Just happy to. It's just, and those were the only 2 of those kind that they had. So I was like, how did 2 that I didn't have be there? Right when we were leaving, there was something on the back shelf, and I just, took a chance. I was like, hey, I know I'm checking out here, but what about that back there? Is that for sale? And they're like, ooh, gotta ask the manager. And I'm like, okay,
of course,
ask him. He's like, oh, I don't know where he's at. Let me go find him. And then he comes back. He's like, okay, I'll do it. And he said, and while he was back there, I looked, the price on this thing was $50. I'm like, 25. It's still a lot. But then he came back and he's like, oh, it's 45. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, how about I just give you $20 for it? And he's like, okay, fine. Anyway, it's this Loyal Subjects Nemesis Prime with his gun. Cool. I get home and I'm like, this damn thing goes for 75 in some places. I'm like, hot damn. Like these sales. Came with his gun, and just happy to have them. I have the big Optimus of that size too, so it's nice to go with that. Another line that I did not really collect, but I've been wanting to check them out because Human Alliance from Dark of the Moon, just because they come with little human figures, and it's just fun to have with the toys. again, not that I'll even open it, but $30 on this, and I'm like, I wouldn't have bought this on the shelf. There's no chance I would have bought it but you tell me it's $15. I'm like, I can't grab it fast enough. Yeah. Anyway, it comes in the box.
I used to have all those Human Alliance ones. Yeah.
Oh.
I even had some that I had Sideswipe. I had him chromed.
Mm-hmm.
I had a guy chrome him. And I sold them all.
That's cool.
I think TFCon Chicago.
Oh man, I knew I was at your table a lot, but
I think it was actually the first one I went to.
So I got all your bots last time I was there, but yeah. So I've since went back and I checked them out. I'm like, oh, there was some really cool shit in that line. And then as I'm walking out, I'm like, okay, we're done. Oh my gosh! And then you see this thing, and it's like, it's got a sticker on it for $4. I'm like, well, I'll buy anything in this store for $2. How do you not buy it for $2?
Exactly.
And then you see it, and it's like, what is this big giant shredder here? How ridiculous! This is so dumb.
It's so much bigger than a regular Playmobil figure.
It's so stupid, but I love it.
That's crazy
because it's $2. So how do you not? You just have to get it, hang it on the wall because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Another thing, super stoked to have this. I do pops and I collect Skeletors. And how do you not get this sexy son of a bee right here?
Yeah, I need that guy.
That is a weird Funko Pop.
Meme Skeletor.
Yeah, that's like that should be
next time.
I didn't even know it was a subline, this meme business here.
I guess.
Until next time. What?
They should have been a 2-pack, and like him running away was the other one.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, that 100% is bizarre.
I need that one. I need that one like now.
I actually have like a sticker or a magnet of it on my fridge. I don't know where I got that from. And then lastly, 90% of my pops are horror pops, and then the rest are Transformers and a couple Boy Meets World. But anyway, I didn't have this. We had just watched it, and on my other podcast, it was we do a top 10 list at the end of the year, top 10 horror movies, and it was my number 1 from last year. And I was didn't have this pop, and it's extra bloody, which is awesome, and it's Abigail. And Tiffany got it for me because she's a big sweetie.
Extra
it was
bloody.
Yeah, it's awesome, right? It was, guys, my heart grew 3 sizes that day. I'm over there looking at stuff, and I see her over there just digging through pops, and I'm just like, I already love this girl, but man, that's hot. Just seeing a girl digging through toys. It was amazing. And she got me this, so really happy to have it. I don't know, you guys seen that movie yet?
It's a movie.
I didn't even know that was a movie.
Yeah, it's a little vampire movie. Vampire.
Oh, is that the one where they lock her in the?
Yep.
Like, I can't remember what's his name.
They kind of kidnap her and.
And then she eats them all.
I'm thinking of the one where I'm forgetting his name. The guy who was Gus in Breaking Bad is in it.
Yes,
that's that movie. Okay, yeah,
yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Giancarlo.
Yeah. Giancarlo.
Yeah. I remember seeing the previews for that now.
Yeah, it's really good. It's fantastic. I think it's streaming on Peacock. Anyway.
Sure.
Well, that's what I got, and let's get into it. I got my first question ready to go. Why, Toby? Why do you got why are you dressing up and stuff? You're an old man.
This is actually an intervention.
No, it's so courage. I love it.
So to bring it back to the very beginning of all of this, I kind of wish I had that picture. I know it's on my Instagram, but even when I was a kid, like I dressed up as Egon from Ghostbusters, and everybody else was like horror stuff and doing all these things, and I'm this little kid doing Egon, and my mom made that costume for me. So because I was too big to fit into the kid costumes.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to go in the ball pits. Like, it was just a mess. Being 5 and adult sized, essentially. I wasn't literally, but I was too big for that. So right off the bat, I'm dressing stuff like that. Then maybe when I hit like 18 or so, a bunch of my friends, they would have, like, they moved into their own houses. They would have costume parties, and I would show up in extravagant, goofy stuff like a full-size Pac-Man. One year, I showed up as the Burger King, Optimus Prime. I've shown up as a whole bunch of things, and back then I was kind of just tossing costumes together. Then maybe 7 years ago, 8 years ago, one of my friends was like, "Hey, there's people that do this year round." I had no clue that cosplay was a thing.
Okay.
It was just it was Halloween costumes for me.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we went to Colossal Con, which is up here in Sandusky, Ohio. It's about an hour from me. And I went there just on the last day to hang out. And I didn't realize. I was like, hold on, what? You could do this all the time? And then I have always kind of, back then I used to do custom Transformers and a lot of other things. But once I realized that I had all of the skills to make all of the stuff, so then I started doing that. There's not really why. It's just like,
Sure.
I can do this. Why not? And if you've seen, you saw at TFCon Chicago when I put on a Macho Magnus, there is a thing that happens to the crowd. I had 90% of the costume on. No one cared about me. As soon as I put that helmet on, suddenly I was a rock star, and you cannot not love that.
Oh yeah,
as a person.
Oh yeah, I can relate with that. I being a big kid too. I never had a costume that was bought in a store.
Yep, you can't have.
Had to put it together.
The nice part about that is you never got those really crappy ones that were like the He-Man face with the He-Man on his chest. Like I know a lot of people had those. Yeah,
the Ben Cooper type.
The Ben Coopers. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I never got those because that was not even an option for me. Yeah.
Well, I gathered a bunch of photos, so definitely everyone get your butts over to YouTube, and
shame.
I'll let you talk us through some of these. Up first, I assume are two of your most exciting moments in your life. Well, one on the left there, it's getting to meet me,
of course.
But Cybertronic Spree, my man.
Yeah,
I saw it. I followed you through all that, and tell me how amazing that was.
Been on stage 4 times with them now. 3 times as Macho Magnus, and then once as the Fry Force from the old McDonald's things. They did last year. They did a tour with Mac Sabbath, and I'm well, I got to make a specific costume for this. So I made Fry Force, which I'm sure you can find that picture online too. There's a video of me up on stage. I couldn't see anything. I typically can't see anything. I think at this specific one, I almost bit it because those pylons in my helmet were taller than the walkway.
Oh, yep.
So yeah. So it's good fun, and they're great. They literally just sent me Twitter messages, which I actually have to message them because I deleted my Twitter. So we got to figure another way to communicate.
That's awesome. Oh, get some He-Man action in there for Elgin here.
Yeah. So, and I did want to say that in the beginning, I listed G.I. Joe as second. That's just the current. My Motu's probably my number one all time because it's just what I grew up with. I was I am the blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid they were selling to. So, so that's my Mondo Prince Adam, which I still have to do a few tweaks on to get perfect. I actually have that figure over there. It was a Prince Adam that I had already done, and then Mondo came out with one. So yet again, my mom, she started helping me with that vest because there was no way I had the skill to do that. I actually found that purple fabric. I'm pointing at it as if you could see it. That purple fabric up there. It's that I found that. And it is exactly like the fabric on the Mondo figure.
Awesome.
And then I have to get a new sword because that sword I made out of yoga foam.
Oh.
Because it had to be certain cons you can't have plastic. You have to have foam swords. They won't allow you unless they're LARP able. So I made that one just for that purpose. Just use the pink baseball bat that I found at a store for the rest of it. And then that is it. But that one I plan on finishing and taking to Toylanta
cool.
end of next month.
Well, this Prince Adam brings up a very important topic that is a big barrier for me is shaving. How, like, I know that helps you change into all these characters, but it's a big,
this is the weird thing. I have people that I know personally that will see me day one of a con, and I'm like Macho Man, full beard.
Yeah,
and which is what I did for this. I was
Wow.
Macho Man at Arms the day before.
Yeah.
Then I reused half of that and became Dunkin' Donuts up there. And all I did was shave the like that.
yeah.
And then the third day I was Prince Adam, shaved that. So
Makes sense.
it is not a barrier for me. I have to do it twice a year, or like I start getting like
Gotcha.
Was it seborrheic dermatitis? It's like a fungal infection yeast that like a lot of people think it's dandruff, but it's actually like a thing. So I just do it twice a year, clears all that up. I don't have to worry about it.
Oh, I just don't know if I can do it. That's like all I can when it's Halloween time. It's like I can only do people with beards or a full headed.
Yeah. So
No,
part of the problem is if you're doing it for this kind of a thing, you have to plan.
Oh yeah.
What you're doing. So there was one convention that I was going to do, and I realized that like I wanted to do Macho Man Day 3, so I had to figure something out. And I did. I think I ended up just wearing like a thing under here, mask wise, so that it like fit it. But it's like, yeah, you can't. Or sometimes you just gotta have a beard. Yeah. I'm this guy with a beard. One of the ones I'm working on now is Marvel Rivals. The main Thor in that game has a beard. So I'm literally like, he's also barrel chested, like big dude. So I don't have the helmet. Actually, the helmet's back there. I'm gonna glue all the helmet pieces together and do all that. I 3D printed those. The rest of it's gonna be foam though. But then I could just walk around like me. I'm just gonna spray this a little whiter. It's halfway there. Yeah, there's Macho Man at Arms.
Macho Man at Arms.
Yeah.
So what kind of material are you using over there on the right picture?
That is EVA foam, but specifically, so if you see how the ab part of it, that is actual store-bought EVA, where the rest of it is mostly mats that I get from Harbor Freight because it's way cheaper. And then the chest piece, I don't know what that mask part is just it's EVA foam that's covering styrofoam. The styrofoam you get it like they have half cubes, full cubes, or full spheres. You can get it like Michael's, Joanne Fabrics, that kind of place.
Yeah.
Macho Man at Arms. There's a punny mashup theme with a lot of 90%
of mine are going to be some sort of mashup.
So you get the name first, and you're like, I'm building that.
Well, a lot of it is actually I start like trying to piece together two different things. There's one ridiculous one that I'm planning on doing. Probably won't be till the end of the year, but it is a Winter Soldier from Marvel thing. But the way I'm doing it is so ridiculous. So, but the puns work well. I mean, I did Macho Strange, which is less of a pun, but that's like a Doctor Strange Macho Man, and the whole thing that links that is that they both talk with their hands. Like that is the link. That is it.
Can't remember if I have that picture in here or not. Oh, there's a couple more.
Yeah, that's my Time Warner cable. I somehow found a like 4X Time Warner cable shirt, and then the rest just all came together.
And had then I gotta do cable.
I made that arm out of those like tubes that you use in cars to put a like plastic conduit for wiring. Just glued that onto a sleeve. Found some Zuru or whatever those goofy companies guns are. I didn't even have to paint that. That's how it came. And then I have some military garb in my yellow boots. Yeah, and then on the right is all of the Doctor Who's at once. and that is current to that picture. I think I gotta add like 3 more now.
Oh god, yeah, probably. All of them.
Yes, I call it the Doctors. And then some of the stuff is actually hidden inside, but that one I actually had just gotten the celery on here, which is one of the I think the 5th Doctor. I used to just tape celery to me, and that was getting real annoying because it would like start leaving like residues and like stinking after a couple hours. I'm like, this is not. So I went and found one of those. I don't know if you remember, Mattel made these like toys that all kids chewed on back in the 80s, but they were like fruits and vegetables. So I just found a celery one and glued that, or made a pin for it. Yeah. Then that's Mushroom Man, Mario Savage, whatever you want. That was literally just done because Macho Man, like Randy Savage's middle name is Mario.
What?
Like I was like, well, this has to be done.
Well,
yeah, like,
and
then I had been invited to be a guest cosplayer at the Cleveland Gaming Classic, so that was made for that. Although neither picture here are from that, which is kind of funny. It's Steel City and Torg, I believe. But
yeah,
there he is. There's old Fry Force. Yeah. For this one too, I plan on making the Triceratops Fry one that they had as a rideable thing.
Oh,
not really rideable, more like a barrel around my gut. So gut showing. I measured that and I measured it completely wrong. I should have made it way bigger. Because it was just like gut crotch, like this. Not good. And those hands were ones that I used on my original Optimus Prime costume from 20 years ago. So I just took them out and painted them, and I lucked into it. That color specifically is in the spray. It's hard to spray that stuff because of what it's made of. But if you get lawn furniture spray, it works perfectly with athletic gear. So like I just on that. No one really said that, but like you have to spray it. It doesn't look like it's working, and you have to dry it outside in the sun, but it works really well.
It has the flexibility.
It's for reconditioning old lawn furniture that looks like crap from the sun. That's all that it is. That worked perfectly. So it's just like a rubberized. And then I put lights under the fries.
I was going to ask if that was paint or lights. It looks like
for
lights.
No reason I put lights in there like that. I just did that, and then of course I put Max Sabbath there because that was the band I was going to go see.
Heck yeah!
Got a Captain N. That's one of the ones I didn't shave for that because I was like, Actually, that was after I did Jet Black from Cowboy Bebop. That's why my mustache is gone. The rest of it's still on there. So like the day before I'd done Jet Black for I was a paid photo shoot for a Cowboy Bebop set. So then the rest of the days I did this stuff. That one was super easy. I had almost everything for that aside from the jacket. I just had to buy the jacket and put the N on there. And then that is Scuba Steve.
Mm-hmm.
And that's JFK Customs if you ever, or JFK Cosplay. That's his initials are JFK, so nothing to do with that. Yeah. But yeah, he does a lot of goofy Transformers and stuff, and I see him at every con. And he's one of the ones who'll walk up and not know it's me. I'm like,
we've met 47
times.
I'm
330 pounds minimum, 6'6" dude. How do you not know me? But Scuba Steve was huge that year when I did that, and the whole reason I did it was because I already had like the red Zentai, so the rest of it was just kind of piecing stuff together. But when I was going through there, everyone was like, Scuba Steve, Steve. It was just like
rock star. Yeah.
And then I also had the backpack had bubbles, and I would turn those on and spray bubbles all over the place.
Heck yeah.
That's cool.
And the whole reason I did it was because I wanted to I don't know if you're familiar with conventions, but every year they have like regular themes. This con, Colossal Con, has a weird like sub theme that only certain people know about. The year before this, it was all cows. So all of a sudden, a whole bunch of people in cow swimsuits and like maid outfits with cow stuff, like we're all running around, and no one knew why, like unless you're in the group. Well, I found out that year it was going to be succubuses.
Oh.
So I went up there and I'm like, did someone call for Succubus Steve? And like just being an idiot, and I just like crashed it. They just let me in. It was cool. Just a whole bunch of demons and me spreading bubbles everywhere. So,
Amazing.
yeah, that is Shazam into a Slim Jim. Yeah, and then that's
Great.
Oddfell. She's a Cleveland area or Columbus area, I think, cosplayer. But she's a friend now. Her and her partner are both friends. And then the big thing about that costume is that that light up thing actually like fully lights up. It's bright.
Nice.
I don't know if you could tell from the picture. It kind of just looks like it's like cell shaded, but I found a silicone mat and put like a bunch of LEDs around it, and then wore it like that, and it works. I mean, it's a neat little thing. I actually got to meet Zachary Levi with that, and he took my picture.
Whoa!
Because I couldn't
Nice.
afford to take no picture with that guy. It was like $200. It's crazy.
No.
And then on the right is my Undertaker, which
Well,
I
yeah.
actually wear lifts for to make myself like 3 inches taller. So
It's one of those where like it works for you.
yeah,
You know, being a big guy, it actually helps.
Yeah.
And it's freaking awesome.
Thank you.
It's so good.
What's funny is that the gloves are actually like the gloves and the hat are official WWE merchandise, and they do not fit on me. Like that sits on top, and then the gloves like ripped, like right here. Like, geez, you'd figure they'd be like 1-to-1. No, they're for normies to wear.
Yeah.
I feel like the Undertaker. I got that is Krusty the Clown as the Joker.
Yep.
That was a Halloween costume. This is what cosplayers do at Halloween. They come up with BS one-time things. So I think I thrifted everything but the boots on that, and of course the hair. But yeah, I thrifted almost everything on there. So like the jacket was from Goodwill, shirt, pants were from Ollie's, I think. Yeah, that was a fun one, and it was just because there was a meme going around of Krusty the Clown doing the dance down the the stairway. So I was like, I'll kind of do that. Why not? Yeah. And I was gonna do the actual Krusty hair, but like I don't have the skill path to do that at the moment. So I was like, nah. And I got my Laramie cigarettes in my pocket there. That's like all I did all
Just
night.
go around doing that.
Yeah. It was good fun. And then on the right is my yet another joke. If you watch Ghostbusters 2, they're at the birthday party and said, "Who are you gonna call?" He-Man. So I made Ghostbuster He-Man.
With the loincloth coming out the pants. That's just so funny.
Well, that's actually his boots, but yeah.
I know.
You're good. And then the actual pack, if you look on the front, it's got the toy cosmic key on the
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I knew that was something.
Yeah, and that is a Spirit Halloween backpack that I bought and realized it was like 2/3 the size that it needed to be. It was like it's not even for kids. It's just a smaller pack. So I was like, well, screw it, and I just painted it like the old Real Ghostbusters one.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah, because it wasn't that bright blue.
Yeah. That's
cool.
And then that's actually I think like an Afterlife
Wand,
but I just made them all work together. Lights and sound, everything works. So it's cool.
Awesome.
There's the Cowboy Bebop group. That's me as Jet Black, and a whole bunch of other folk as the rest of the crew. That's the one where like I get stopped all the time whenever I do that one. It's also funny too because the guy who's Spike there, it's a Gray Wolf. I can't remember. There's some numbers afterwards. He actually organized this whole thing because he does like every single Spike Spiegel cosplay from that, and he organized this whole thing. And then I show up with like see that scar like made the whole thing. He has like a thing glued on his face, and I shaved and dyed, and he's like, I was not expecting you to go that far. He's like, that is nuts. I'm like, well, I literally grew my hair out so that I could dye it and then cut it here with like an ornate. Yeah, it was worth it though. When you go to one of these conventions and you nail something that like, it's crazy just to see people be like, what are you doing?
Yeah. And with that one specifically on your on your Facebook anyway. It looks like you had a real good photo shoot for it too, which you don't always get.
That one's a paid one.
Yeah.
We all kind of split it, but he paid the bulk of it. And that was from Andrew Bastian Photography, and he's a friend in the area as well. And like, I'll send him a message like, "Hey, can I use this as prints?" He's like, "No, but you can." It was really like he doesn't want people doing
No,
that, but he's like,
but
"Yeah,
yeah,
you can."
it's
Like, I don't care if you do it, but everyone else can no. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Cool, dude.
okay. And then that is my first Dr. Robotnik that I've done, which was pretty much mostly based off of the Sonic Boom Dr. Robotnik. But I've since been taking pieces off left and right, and now I'm kind of making like a all-around Robotnik of the ages. So
Amalgamation of sorts.
yeah, he's a little bit of everything. And I got Wario, which there was a band called Master Sword, and they just said, "Hey, if you come in as a video game cosplay, we're gonna do a costume contest." I threw that together in like a week. Only person that showed up in costume.
Oh,
So I won everything. I won all the prizes.
Yay!
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They've since broken up. Hey, band breaks up. Weird.
I do.
And then that is Freakazoid, which I originally wore to my best friend's wedding because he had a cosplay wedding. He's the one who took me to Colossal Con that many years ago. He was a Witcher, and his now wife was like a Princess Zelda looking. I don't think it was actually Zelda, but it was something like that. And I didn't tell them what I was going to show up as, and then I showed up like this. And then this specific picture was when Ed Asner died, because he was the voice of Cosgrove on that show.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right, one
like coffee and canned hash, just for him.
One more slide here.
That's the fame one. That's the big one. That is
Yep.
the Macho Magnus. Yeah. So yeah, that's the big one. This has gone through more revisions. That is probably the first time that I wore it.
Yeah,
It
it was
looks
tough.
completely different now.
Yeah.
I'm even redoing the chest piece next. So I've switched the cape out. Pants are still the same. I'm getting new boots. The crotch piece is gone. The gauntlets are completely different now. Yeah, it's a evolution, but that one was the big one. I now have Mean Gene Okerlund with me as Mean Gene Groguland. So,
well, yeah, that's got to be a big part of it. That evolution, you say, like how many does it change every time? Do you finally get happy with?
Lucas himself said a true artist abandons his work. He doesn't, or that might be from someone else, but that's where I know it from.
Yeah.
He probably stole it.
He probably did steal it from someone, the Bible or something. So yeah, it's never truly done. It's finished enough for me to be happy. But all of a sudden something will pop up and I'll be like, I got to do that, or I got to do this. And the nice part is now, because I kind of got on a high with cosplay, now I'm kind of switching it up and actually making the choice of like, do I want to do it with a costume, or do I want to make an action figure of it? Do I do both? I have, actually, he's almost finished. I have my Macho Strange in plastic form now.
I thought I saw some pics of that too.
Yeah, so I made that one because I had an extra Doctor Strange and a Macho Man head from a wrestling figure. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm doing this. So, and I've got a lot of customs planned up, but I've kind of started weaning what I do because there's not enough time in the day.
Yeah.
Time, money, all this stuff. So I did a lot of Motu customs as well. I don't know if you saw those, but I did like the Foyers of Tea. I'm like 99% done with all those. I just got one more to do, and then that's done. And then, of course, this is next. This I hope to have done at So I got the stone protectors. I've got all of them there. So hopefully I'll have this done by Toyland. I wanted to bring that this time because Pixel Dan's going to be there, and I know he's big into that. I still got to find a bunch of accessories for them. I just took the original heads, which I found. I got I got a bag of all of them for $4.
Oh,
And I was like,
gotta
shoot,
do that.
I mean, the toys were all beat to hell and it missed most of their accessories, but I'm like, I got plenty of extra origin books. I'm just going to start tossing them on there. Yeah.
Well, you got any questions for him, Elgin? Anything stand out there?
Not cosplay related, but how is the Alan Tudyk
The Alan
figure
Tudyk
collection going?
So I did just get.
That's a good collection.
I know it's off
I mean,
topic, but
I
love,
can bring it out.
I love
if
that
you
you
want.
have
It's right there.
Yeah, you can grab it. Yeah, go ahead and grab it.
Yeah,
I just
so
love
hold on.
that you have all these figures of characters voiced by Alan Tudyk.
Yeah,
like it's and then they're all like
randomly. I was like, I have like 4 figures
piled
that are
on
all
top of
Alan
each
Tudyk.
other.
Like, I
like
wonder how many more I can get. And I am like spamming McFarlane Toys because they got NBC rights. I'm like, I need a Harry Vanderspiegel now.
Yeah,
that. So yeah, I can go grab those. It's fun.
Yeah, they're all riding tuk and they're all like hanging off and like got different characters and stuff. But yeah, it's just I see that all the time on there, and it's just like it's such a niche collection of stuff that like that type of thing interests me. Of like for collecting, it's like something that no one else would really collect, and it's like you're making it your own. And you have it where it's this niche collection, but it's like very personal and very like something that when you see it on your wall, it's like it means a lot, and it means like it's something
it's one of a kind
special.
thing.
Yeah, one of a kind, which I love.
So here it is. Here's the bulk of it. Tuk Tuk.
Yeah,
we got an arcade from the MODOK series. We have Duke Weaselton.
yeah,
and we also have where's he at?
Zootopia.
Yeah, but I have another one. Where did he go? He's holding Duke Weaselton from that's the only figure of him. Is a small little cake topper thing from Frozen. They got the toucan from the Singing House family. I can't remember what that was called.
Encanto.
Yeah. And then King Candy. I'm forgetting the name of the droid from Rogue
Those numbers and letters.
Yeah.
It's like
beep boop beep.
SO. It's like SO.
Yeah. K2SO.
Yes. K2SO.
And then he was Green Lantern in the video game, the DC video game Injustice, and then I got the bird from Moana. His lap.
Oh yeah, the little chicken.
The chicken. These ones are some of those are real hard to get.
I'm sure.
I ended up only getting the King Candy without the hat, because with the hat it's like $100. I got that one for like $15. I'm like, I'm just gonna deal with them that way.
Yeah.
And then I got Nosemore from Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Oh yeah.
And then I can't remember his name in this movie, but it was from the most recent.
The Wish.
Yeah, Wish, but I can't remember what his name was in that because it's like Federico or something like that. And then the Coup de Grace, the only good Transformer of him, which isn't good because it doesn't even have knee articulation. Is this one? So no face showing either, and then the show got canceled. And the line got canceled, so I ended up passing on this so many times because it was missing the head.
Oh,
because it was one of the ones during that LeBron head missing era. Then I randomly found this at Ross for $6.
Oh yeah.
So I was
definitely
like,
that's how you do it.
Is the only version of this character because the other one was even smaller. I wanted a full size one, but that'll work. That is it to date. I just need to get a generic parrot because they never actually made a toy for the live action Aladdin. He was Iago in that.
Cool.
But they never made a toy for it, so I can just get any parrot.
Right.
Yeah, totally. You get
And there's
the
actually a
beachcomber when it comes
yeah.
back out because it comes with the little.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of other characters he's voiced, but they never got figures. They're never going to get figures. The real big one that I want is Sunny from iRobot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I found a file online, and I'm just gonna have to 3D print it. But unfortunately, he's mostly clear, so that means I have to use my resin 3D printer, which I hate using.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Resident Evil, that'd be.
Well, thanks for asking about that.
Yeah.
Anyone ever asks about the goofy Alan Tudyk collection. His number one fan is on Threads now, and she's always posting stuff. So like, she ended up following me, and then he reposted it because it was goofy.
Right.
But she's the one who actually showed me that Sunny figure. She's like, this is the only one that exists. I'm like, they didn't make toys for that movie. I mean, it is about robots murdering people, but
right.
RoboCop. There's a lot of those shows.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, all right. We'll take a quick little break here. Tell you about our podcast network, the PFPN. It's a home of tons and tons of podcasts for you to check out, ranging from all sorts of different topics. It's a cool place to go, and this nice lady is going to tell you all about it.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
Okay, and now Elgin's going to take us on a store tour.
All right, today's store we're going to is called Cloud City Toystore at 108 Linderman Avenue in Buena Vista, Colorado. That's right, it's about 13 hours and 21 minutes away from Ottumwa. So start driving right now and you might get there. But if you're in the Denver area, it's about 2 hours and 17 minutes southwest of Denver, Colorado. It's a large collection of G.I. Joes, vintage and classified, Star Wars, Lego, Hot Wheels, Transformers, and much, much more. The store caters to children as well as adults, nestled in the mountains of Colorado. And did you know the Buena Vista area has the highest concentration of 14ers? That's right, 14ers. Those are mountain peaks of at least 14,000 feet tall, making it a destination for hikers and mountain climbers. They have 15 of these 14ers nearby. So when you go to Buena Vista, you can fall off a mountaintop and then roll down the hill to Cloud City Toystore at 108 Linderman Avenue, Buena Vista. That means a beautiful view. Colorado.
Man, 14ers used to mean something else when I was a kid. I don't know. What? No. So
you're going to get on that list.
Before we go today, if you want to help support the podcast, you can tell a friend. It's really easy. We know you have them. Quit hiding them and tell them about the show. Cops are coming for us. You can also leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. We love those. But there's always Enlist in the Core, enlistinthecore.com. Go over there, check out those tiers. One of the awesome tiers is shout outs on the show. And that's what you get, like these people right here. We got Tony Miller, Chris Turnip Simmons, Alex LaForest, Bill Fisher, Colin Bunn, and Tiffany DeWeese. Thank you guys so much for being core members. We really appreciate it. You guys rule. And Toby, thank you so much for being here.
It's always a pleasure.
Let us know how we can find you, follow you, see you, where you're going to be. How do we follow this?
Yeah, so I'm Alpha, ALPHAMAGNUS, for the listening crowd. Magnus, Alpha Magnus, at just about everything. I do have a cosplay specific one that is Alpha Magnus Cosplay. And then I'm starting, if you see that on there, Toby Toys. That is my I got the .com. I got it all.
Oh,
Nice.
That is my toy company that I'm trying to starting off with smaller things like printing off stands and things like that. But I do eventually want to make full figures. But current climates in the world make it hard to figure out who I can get from and what cost things are going to be. So we're going to wait until that all levels out, and then we'll figure it out from there. But my first main one, actually, this isn't a good one to show. I probably should have had that out, but a smart person would have done that. I have stands for the nacelle biker mice from Mars because they don't have foot pegs.
Oh,
really?
And and yes, most people would get a bike with them.
Sure.
But then they have these sports ones, and it's like you're gonna buy bikes for both of them. So I decided to make a stand. Give me like 2 seconds.
I hope the stand looks like a mousetrap.
No, it's actually just the logo.
Wow.
And then you put the.
There's an idea for you.
There you go.
You can have that one. It's free.
yeah.
So I 3D printed this in 2 colors, so it
Nice.
it goes through, and then you just put the foot there, and then clamp it down. I have these little clamps that come with it. I'm gonna be selling these at Toylanta first, and then putting them on the website afterwards. And then YouTube. Follow my YouTube if you want straightforward, no gussying up. I think Elgin also does the same thing where you just show it and then you're done with it. Like I'm not gonna spend like 10 hours editing this thing so I can hopefully get 3 more views.
Yep.
It doesn't make sense. Honestly,
you've been on YouTube. Okay, yeah.
Honestly, I do it so that I open them, because if not, they end up sitting as a pile back there.
But I mean, are you still doing the 2-camera thing where you have? I know at one point you were doing like.
Yeah, it's actually just an app on my phone.
Right.
Yeah. So I've been doing that because people are like, we want to see your face. I'm like, why? Okay,
Yeah, I know.
I'll do that.
For a long time, I was avoiding that. It was only hands,
Yeah,
And
and I get it because they want to see reactions. Honestly, that's
Sure.
90% of it. I mean, that's why people do anything.
Right.
They want to see your facial reaction to it, and I just get angry about them.
And the people want that.
This one I went on
emotion.
fire for, so check that one out. I was like, why would you do this? There are literally 14 other figures that you could have used aside from the buck that they used for that one. Oh, we had it available. Then make a small guy on it. There's like 2 tall guys in G.I. Joe, and you make one of them like the tiniest little dude. And he looks like he's a SNL skit. It's ridiculous.
That's a preview for his review of.
Get over to Alpha
classified figure.
Magnus channel.
And then I will be at Toylanta next month. I'm a guest, I guess. They want me there mostly for custom stuff, but I'll be doing cosplay, and I will be doing I'm taking that previous Man-at-Arms costume, painting it dark green. If Elgin can figure out who that I'm going to be, one of their guests.
Mossman?
No, Man-at-Arms green armor.
Oh, Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah. The Sergeant Slaughter, he's going to be there. So
Heck
nice.
yeah.
So we're doing
WWE Eternia, where they did a mashup of that with.
I have a whole slew of those down there too.
I have the whole collection.
I have the whole collection plus like 12 or 13 more that I've made apart from that. So I'm going to be doing more. I'm going to do the big Moss Man. I got the Boss Man figure and all those.
Big Moss Man.
But I'll be there. So come check it out. It's in Duluth, I think, Atlanta. I can't remember what the actual city is, but it's Toylanta, so it's near Atlanta enough. So check that out next month. It's the end of March. Everything else just Alpha Magnus everywhere.
That's right. I like it.
Yep.
Well, again, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's not a topic we normally probably would have talked about, so it's
Yeah. Well, we also didn't go over what figures what figures you want cosplays of, but we could do that another time.
That's a whole nother,
It's a whole nother
part 2.
We talked about Alan Tudyk for a minute.
Yeah.
That's all we
It's
need.
important. It's important.
Yeah, that's the important things.
All right. Well, I guess we'll get out of here. Thanks everybody for watching and listening. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.
Thank you for listening to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. But not so fast, my foul fiends. Don't forget to follow these fools on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And visit cracktasticplastic.com. I'll be back.